Video 11 with the sun in my face. So, okay, we'll go back to this. I was thinking about how to route this particular, some of these other signals here, and had to think about it for a little bit. What I think I want to do is I'm going to take this trace, and I'm going to, this one, and I'm going to delete that off. And I'm going to run this trace 6 mil on the blue layer, and I'm going to start here, but I'm going to take it, since I've already got these blue lines already there, I'm going to take it clear to here, and then put a via here, and then connect it in. That leaves me a little bit more room to do some stuff here. Now, I need to get these two signals here, that's GPIO 0 and GPIO 1. Those need to go up to the LED. And, you know, everything else is pretty well closed off in here, or as much as we need. But I can bring those traces around here once they're blue. So let me just take like this. And I want to keep it as close as possible. But I need this to be a via here. And then I want this one, same thing, and a via here. Okay, that gets me a little bit closer, but now I can come up with blue and snake it around this way. And once I'm past here, we can go back to red and we can be fine. So I just need to get them up here in blue, and there really isn't anything blocking me, so I can just do that. I need to, whichever one I pick to start with, let's start with this one. I mean, I need to make sure there's room for the other trace to get around it. So let me just do this. Okay, let's do that one. Let me go do this one then. Doesn't always quite do what I want. Okay. So now I can bring these blues clear up to here. I should have just done that. Okay, let's just do that. And put a via. And this one too. It won't let me. Not enough room. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to move this other one over a little bit. And a little bit of a trace there. Okay. So I want to come over. I mean, there's nothing on this side of the board here. And the signals are just LEDs, so, you know, there's no high frequency involved whatsoever. Okay. So now that I'm red, I can come in here and do this. Now this one, I could come just straight on over like this. There. 28 left. Now this one also 27 left. I've still got this guy to get through, and that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. This guy's got to go around. I think I can do that. I need a via. I'm going to take this trace out for the moment. And let me do, I don't think there's any real current on this one, so we're going to take this trace here, and I'm going to come in, I'm going to keep it close as possible to the pin. See, I've still got a problem. I've got these two traces that need to come in. They may end up going around the outside. You know, I'm going to redo the way I was thinking about this. Okay, let's route that one directly. Okay, let's bring that 3.3 volt line in the other way. Oh, what's going to do that to me again? It likes to override what I want. I said I wanted 24 mil there. Oop, 12. Okay, now it should take off at 12. But I can also now do another via. So let me connect. I want this one also to be a 12. So then I can draw no, I didn't do it. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, I still need to connect this one to that one, but now that's easier. I can do this from here on the blue layer, sorry. And I want 24 mil. I bet there's a way of doing that. $12 mil. Still didn't do it. Okay. And now as I'm looking at this, you know, if I take this, I've got these two traces here that need to come clear down here, and everything else is cleared up. So I can actually do that in blue. They do need to flip order. But if I come in here with a blue trace like this, and I want it to be 6 mil, because this is just an A to D, there's no voltages on or currents on this. Let me do this right. Let me get rid of this trace again. So now I want to come in this guy, 6 mil from here. I want to go around this way, leaving enough space we'll just stop it there. This guy has to do the same thing. A little piece there. I get those. Okay, so these two are now really close. So this should be a piece of cake. Come in here like this. Say I want to trace to start here, come up, because there's no room for a via underneath there. And just slightly off to the right, and then come back down here to that guy. ADC1, via, come back down to that guy, down to 25. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Still got some power things up in here. This is this trace. That's an easy one. This guy, it just has to go to there and to there. The grounds need to connect. Well, that's okay, we can do that. I want a bigger trace, so I'm going to start here with a 24. or 12, and start there and go to here and via. Okay, I need that 3.3 volt line to get where I want, and I may just rotate that way. It's not too far away, I don't think. This is already the blue, or a via there. So if I come down here, we've got a 12. We'll start in red, and then do a via. Now I'm blue, go to there, and then I still want to go from there on the blue layer. From there, I want my 12. Yeah, it still says 12. It says 12, but it's not. It's okay. How are we doing? Still have some grounds to get through. May not be too bad. The ground will have to come from above. I've got all these multiple not connects there. Let's go down here, work on the crystal stuff for a moment. Pin 1 goes to there, pin 2, that almost seems like it's flipped from what I want. So let's flip it. That's my resistor. There's the X out, X in. The resistor goes to that one, so let's put that there first. That goes to one of the caps. Oh, we've got the other cap. The other cap. Trying to make sure the grounds and the lines of the data we want all lining up. Now this will give me a warning. Well, let's go ahead and move it all up so I don't, because the courtyards overlap. I don't want that part. I just want this. Let's try this. Okay. Okay, let's go for... Well, I'm liking what we've got so far. We've got down to 16 traces. I still have the ones for the crystal yet. You got a couple traces there to go. So let me just put those in here to be done with them. These could be thin. I don't like the way it does that sometimes. It takes us down to 11. We've got a ground trace that needs to come in here yet, and we got these two. You know, we could probably do those. In fact, I think I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to run this one. It gets us down to 9. SW clock and the other one should be in 6 mil. And a trace. You know, I can run that. If I run it through here, it would work better, but this ground trace is in the way. Let me just back that up. I like the ground there, but let me just run it that way, though. Let me go from here around this way and then down. So now I can go ahead and put that ground trace back in there. And that takes us down to 7. Oh, this is we're on pin 26. That's our run line. That's just a resistor 10K to pull up. That's this guy. Where else have we got the 3.3? 3.3 is right there. I may want to see if I can bring these traces up, so I'm going to leave that where I can. Where else have I got 3.3? That's 3.3 on both sides. Not else this is going to go down there, so let's go ahead and move this guy down. Yeah, but I want to put it up here. Let's see if we can make it fit there. I'll probably want to bring these guys out. Possibly. So let's go ahead and do this one. Here's one side. This has to go to the 3.3, and that's right here on the other side. So if I just come down with the via and just do that, down to 5. We've got a ground trace that needs to connect to there. And that's already ground there. I can bring that across probably pretty easy. I like a little bigger once I get it. No, not that big. Let's go for that. Down to 4. You know, when you get to this point, sometimes it's hard to spot what's not connected. And we can turn off a couple of the layers here. Here's one that's right here. And then I can turn on and off the rat's nest. And you can see that one. Let's see what that one's going to cause us a problem with. Oh, that's just the 3.3 volt line connecting to the rest of the 3.3. Okay, that one's easy. So I need this to connect to there. And what else have we got? Let's take a look at the blue layer. All sorts of open space. So if I say 12 mil from here that gets us down to 3. Okay, let's run a design rule check. This will also tell us stuff. Because sometimes these are really, really short pieces that are not connected. Design rule check. Clearance violations. Okay, we'll have to do that. And unconnected 3. What we can do is we can zoom in quite a bit. Doesn't matter where, and then you click on things, and then you get to see where things are missing. See, there's the QSPISS. That trace is still missing. It's saying there's a 3.3 volt line that we still have to connect. We missed something there. And that one, that's the same one we had up the top. Okay. Oh, I need to delete those markers first. Okay, and then we'll go back and start fixing things up. So let me close that, save our work.